All right, this is another video. As always, I will continuously make videos until I can't. As you can see, my eyes are turning red, and eh, it's probably because I'm drying up. And I feel like I've been radiating too much. But something is not doing well with me. Uh, you know, uh, One thing I just want to say that even though I'm feeling like things are not looking good for me, I don't know if my eyes is an indicator, but I know that I'm not feeling good. I feel my organs and everything else like just not doing well, and I can feel my body just breaking down a little bit, little by little, and it's gonna continuously go like that. But that's why I want to make videos, right? I want to continuously testify about what's happening to me. They try to isolate you in different ways, but also they try to make themselves believe something else, right? You hear these people, they use these childlike individuals who have no shame in saying whatever they need to say, right? It's obvious they manipulate you in these disgusting ways, in these pedophilia ways. You have no doubts. You know yourself, you know who you are, but you know that they are trying to change you and make you accept these things, right? They could continuously say, no, we're just analyzing it. It's you know, remember when you were a kid, and like, obviously, you're doing this pedophilia type of things, right? It's as obvious that what you're doing to my body, as obvious as how you torture my organs and do things to my internal organs and my bones and in my teeth. That obvious, as obvious as what you're doing to to my brain. You are also manipulating the way I'm experiencing things, and it's very pedophilia centric. But what they're trying to do, and they think that, as most target individuals, we are alone, we are isolated of some sort. That's the unfortunate part, but that's what happens. Families involved at times, and then everybody who comes in your life are mostly perps, right? Are mostly people who are there to involve themselves in these things. So to all my target individual, understand that that's what you should expect as a target individual. Some of the target individuals are lucky to have at least family there, or maybe some friends that still stuck around. But there's a lot of lonely target individual, and that's by design. It's because they create this thing where the whole ecosystem is mm, changed, where they bring people who are perps at this point, family members and others. And so even people that you meet are usually people that are involved. So in this program, they want to create this ecosystem. Now, sometimes, and I've experienced, I try to meet people on these meetups for target individuals. And without my surprise, of course, I felt like there was a lot of compromised people, right? Were target individuals were not, most of us are just everyday civilians. As I'm saying that, they're making me imagine some disturbing things, but we are everyday civilians. We didn't work in this intelligence community where, so when we meet, we just meet. There's no background check or anything. So of course a perp can involve themselves in that. Of course a target individual can be compromised too, right? Of course, all that. So I remember going into these meetings, and I'm like, some of these people were saying things that, they like to say things, or at least I hear things from them, or it sounds like they're saying something, especially during COVID. They were acting like they were perps when they weren't, when they were target individuals. And I was not surprised, to be honest. I was like, of course, they're going to compromise people there. No, I remember saying, and for me, like initially, I noticed that something is off because there was a different group of people, and a second one was created just right before I joined. Right, so it felt like, okay, something is going on. This is not it's not the original group. So I understand these things are compromised and manipulated. And I remember the first meeting, this person was like, "Oh, I'm getting this thing in my head, this pedophile, and then out of nowhere, I see this little niece, and I talked about it coming in the framing camera and being, and they start doing these disgusting things, which now they try to change into something else, and not even changing something, try to add layers to these things, right? To make him say, "You're looking at it's so disgusting." When there's just a kid just there, and they did some disgusting things, and now I had to like deal with this disgustingness and try to make myself look normal when this was happening, but it was not doing. I was not doing well. It was terrible. But I know that that moment I was like, okay, this target individual is definitely involved in the perping somehow, right? And they're like, no. What we did is they know that you know what you did as a kid, and I was like, oh please, right? They don't know what you guys do to kids or what? I know that some of these people are compromised. I get it. It's easy to compromise people like that when they're desperate. But I know what they do to children. I know they will fry this kid. They will torture them, and this it has happened. And they try to make me think, but you see, only the woman was tortured, not. So they're trying to find ways to create a way to distance themselves from what they've done to people. You torture women and children. There's a lot of target individuals who are women, and their children are also targeted. This woman that talks about, for example, the bioethic. There was this woman, I forgot her name, Catherine Nestor. She said that her and her young child have been tormented and tortured, only mentally but physically. She lives in PA somewhere. I forgot, in Pennsylvania. Do you think if she comes to New York, she'll be free? No, because these people do this. Now with me, they're trying to somehow distance themselves from what they're part of, and I know that most target individual. We know that law enforcement, EMTs, hospitals are involved in this, right? And so when you're in a targeting individual like meeting, and people are talking about we should talk to the to police and things like that, it's like, okay, we know that there's a lot of compromised situation there. So I know these people are just trying to make paint themselves as something else because they want to be like, no, we are avenging for what you've done to this person. You who are torturing women and children, they are torturing women and children. They're like, and you hear this childlike individual with no shame. He was like, oh, we're gonna free them all. It's like, no, you're not. You're gonna fry them all. You're gonna torture these women and children that are target individual. They want me to somehow think that these people, no, target individual, do not be fooled. They create facades. They compromise people. They are disgusting. They torture women and children. You hear women literally say, why is there so many females doing this? Why is there so many? What kind of woman would do this to another woman? You understand? This is the same people who are here doing it. I know we're different. And then they're like, you abuse it. Try to talk about the stupid thing I did as a kid while forcing me to experience this disgusting pedophilia things, which is what they do. Quote unquote, the black girl thing. Is this nasty trash doing this? So when you find yourself isolated, and even when you try to go into the meetings, and the meetings seem like there's people that are compromised, you know that this is the part of the program. Isolation is always pushed on. They want target individuals to be isolated, and so they're gonna always try to compromise whatever situation you're in to see that there's people around you to constantly gonna mess with you. So with me, I decided, there might be some true target individuals. There might be some compromised target individuals. There might be some just perps. So that's why I'm like, being in it. I don't see the benefits really. I mean, I see the benefit in it's good to have people to talk about the situation that you're going through, but at the same time, it's a way they can use to harm you even more psychologically. And after the books I've read, it's like, okay, this is what they do. They can usually do this thing where the paranoia and the other things, they can start like drama and other psychological stress that they because of the circumstances target individuals are, they can create those things. We are the most manipulated people. So for me, I understand in these circumstances they're gonna compromise, they're gonna involve themselves, they're gonna do things to make me feel like, oh my gosh, everybody knows what you it's you. But like that is this it's their job to make you believe this false persona. However, they're gonna try to make you believe this. That's why I don't even. Their job is to make you think that you, as a target individual, these things they're doing to you is just them just not even manipulating you, analyzing you, putting things together a way that you didn't know, that you were thinking like this all along, but they brought that insight, like they brought it up, that it matches with you as a child, that this feeling and sensation are just organically happening. We're just kind of revealing you, opening you to know you. So now you see you for what you really are. That's not. We're not doing anything. It's BS. They are manipulating you into anything, to the unbelievable, like unbelievably amount of manipulation. It's incredible. It's incredible how they just completely manipulate every second of your life, manipulate to make you subscribe to these things. For me, excuse me, as you can see, they always do this thing with because they're messing with some kind of organs in my like I always salivate, and then they use that in a nasty pedophilia ways. It's just disgusting. And so they do these things to try to get you to accept these things. They try to get you to accept this pedophilia torment and tell you, you see, you're alone because everybody knows. It's like, no, this is how things go. Isolation. This is part of the protocol. You isolate somebody. And for me, the isolation is not because I'm scared, as they do things to my tongue, is I just don't want to be around people. And then this nasty pedophilia things they do to me, it's just disgusting. It's so disgusting. It's so disturbing. It just that's my biggest annoyance, disturbingness, disgustingness. It's almost my own fear now because they do these disgusting things. And on top of that, as much as I'm not scared of these people, I just don't want them to delude themselves to think that, oh, this thing makes sense. No, with me, when they do the pedophilia type of torture, I want them to understand this is what you guys do, and whatever. I know it's not going to stop the torture, but I don't want to go in a state of mind thinking, oh, these people, oh, they validated themselves. With them, no, not with me. With me, you gonna know what you're part of, but it's not gonna stop the torture. You wanted to present yourself as something else. You're not that. There's TI all over the world, from New York to some place in Europe, that are being targeted the same ways, the same tactical ways. They're so systematic. Yes, when you go into this um, TI meetings, you will see, and maybe there'll be a lot of perps going on, a lot of perping going on, a lot. And I heard that before from others too. And for me, I realized that when I was going, I was like, okay, I'm feeling that there's this like this perps. Not maybe not everybody, but and at the same time, I'm so sensitized that they can say a few things, and then I can think that they perp when they're not. But I know these people are perps. Sorry, and I know that these people are manipulating you, and they just want to make you feel silly. It's like, hey, you see, even the TI, to me, that's what they say. Even the TI, like know about you, and what you did, and what. I'm like, oh gosh, do they know what you guys do to them? Do they know what you guys fry? It's like, no, we're different. We're a different group. We're it's our money. We have a different money. No, this is I don't believe in that. I know that if you're doing this to me, that means that you do this to others. They want to make themselves believe that these people are this avenging group. They're protecting and doing this for somebody. It's BS. You're not. Because there's like all kind of theories from TI saying, oh, there's a group of people who just want to avenge. No, this is the facade they create. They create facades. The same people doing to me can do that to a woman. As I'm saying that, they're doing things to my hand to cramp it up and make it hard for me to talk. It's part of the torture because they want me to see them in different ways. They are not what they present themselves as. These people could not. What kind of people are capable of forcing somebody to be stimulated or children and try to gaslight you to accepting? And they're like, no, we're different. We don't do the peripheral type of torture. But what you do the radiation, you do the decaying of the teeth, the bones, the noise campaign, the vibrations, like the list goes on. But the peripheral type of torture, no, you're just analyzing. They are delusional on the neighbors. These neighbors are different. They don't do the no, no, no. We're protecting the neighborhood. Like you're protecting with this this testimony of this woman in Florida. And as I'm saying that, it's trust. They like somebody yells in the hallway, "Black girl." See, of course you're not. You're trying to make me accept these peripheral things that you do to people, and I'm not subscribing to it. They're trash. You just gotta understand these people. They want to be seen differently, so you can accept these manipulations as if it's you. Isolation is a helpful thing for them, but for me, I'm so strong in thanks to all the testimony. I prefer listening to testimonies than get on calls with other TIs where there'll be perps coming in and out whenever they want and compromise people in it and try. Testimonies are so important because you don't even have to have a conversation with that person. You listen to this person. Why is this person's story is so similar to yours? This I gotta say her name. My the testimony that opened my eyes to how systematic things were is the Mariana Mariato. When she talks about her testimony step by step, like, oh, okay,